Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Jaycast podcast. I am your host, Jay.
And Jay.
And we got a show for you guys today that we think you're going to like. Unlike the last episode, apparently, which didn't get much views, much traction, much likes. What's up with that?
Yeah, man. What's going on with you guys, man?
You know, but that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. I think we have a pretty good show for you guys today. We have a lot to talk about. RFK, student loans being shot down, student loan forgiveness being shot down by the Supreme Court, etc., etc., etc. How was your week, Jay?
Damn, I feel like I keep saying the same shit every week. It's the same shit, man. Just work, more work, and then, doing our due diligence to bring you guys more value in regards to current events.
Yeah, I mean, we keep doing our thing, bro. We'll be consistent. We've been consistent for months already now, so it's good. And I'm proud of what we do, mainly because I enjoy it. But,
you guys gotta like step up the viewership, man. Like you guys are slacking, man.
Like and subscribe,
and
bro.
Share it, man.
Damn, come on, man. But my water tank broke over the weekend.
Sheesh.
And thank goodness that my neighbor was kind enough. My downstairs neighbor, she was kind enough to knock on my door very aggressively to tell me that it was leaking, that it was raining in her house.
Did it rot or something, or
no? It was like 15 years old. So
okay, yeah, you got the whole life expectancy of that shit. Yeah.
So I think they installed it actually in 2006.
Yeah. It's due, man.
Yeah. So we gotta replace that same day. Now I gotta call my insurance agent, which I already did. And say, look, you guys don't gotta cover me. I don't really care about that, but can you do something for her? Like, her ceiling is messed up, her light fixture is messed up. I think some of her flooring is somewhat messed up as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't notice it, or like there was no water around that area, or was it just seeping down in that one area?
No, I think it ruptured overnight.
Oh, so you woke up like, what a wonderful day. You're like, what the hell's going on?
You know what happened? Like, I'm usually paranoid about this thing, So the water tank happens to be in the same place as where my washer and dryer are.
Okay.
So I went to I don't know if I went to go put clothes in, or if I went to go see if there was any clothes in there. And then I opened the door. I'm like, huh. My wife had taken a bath at that time, so when you take a hot shower, or whatever.
Yeah.
The water tank. So when I go in the utility closet, I'm like, huh. The light was dark too. If I would have turned on the light, I would have noticed like a huge puddle on the floor.
Oh, so you were just walking.
So I would have noticed a huge puddle on the floor. So I go into the closet, and this is like an hour before the neighbors started knocking on my door. But I go into the utility closet.
What time was this?
It was like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. It was early in the morning. Yeah. Like it ruptured overnight. And then I go into the utility closet, and I'm like, huh, the water heater's making a weird noise. That's a weird noise it's making. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that noise. And I'm like, oh, must be in my head. It must be something weird.
Oh, so you heard something? What was it sound like?
It did not sound like it was like it normally sounds, which should have been a red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's deviating from the norm. When something deviates from the norm, you don't ignore it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If your stomach is making weird noises, you don't ignore it. If your leg is hurting, you don't ignore it. But if I would have turned on the light, I would have noticed. So I was like, huh, that's weird. Whatever. Obviously, I hear a knock from the door from the neighbor, like, yo, you got something leaking upstairs, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And then I go upstairs, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, guys. I'll turn off the water into the water tank.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the plumbers, though, man. They showed up, did their thing. They did their thing, man. They were like, okay, you know what? We're going to take care of you.
Yo, shout out to all the men out there and women that are.
Bro, those guys are like, you know what? We're gonna take care of you for an exorbitant fee. We got you, bro.
I heard that the majority of the population that are like plumbers and carpenters and stuff are old, man. There's not enough.
No. This dude was young, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, and that's another thing too.
Do you think there's enough of the young force to replace the old force?
It's about to be, because my man's the price they charge.
Yeah, right. They're making bank.
I don't know who wouldn't want to
Yeah.
So I called some company, and it was the son who picked up. The son had to be 20 some. He had to be in his 20s.
Yeah.
He's like, if you see him on the street, you be like, Fortnite playing kid. But then he shows up, he's like, oh yeah, your water heater broke, it ruptured down here, blah blah blah. I'm gonna turn off the water, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he's like, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna order a water tank for you. So they went to the warehouse, wherever that was.
Yeah.
He came back with his dad, and his dad was saying something to him in Italian, and it looked like his dad. It sounded like his dad was criticizing him.
Yeah.
Like, you did. It's not like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? You're supposed to do it this way. Blah 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 boom. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you can tell like his dad was like, oh, you know what? His dad pulled up with his van. The son pulled up with his van. You know what I mean? Like, it's a family bit. Like, yo, shout out to those people.
Yeah.
They went in. They took the old water tank out, and they brought the new water tank in. They set it up. They're like, yo, we got the sensor for you. You're good to go, man. Shout out to. I wish I can give them a shout out. I wish I can give the company a shout out, but like it might give away our location.
Yeah, man. Shout out, dude.
When we're rich, when we become multi 50, 100 millionaire like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, man. I know there's a plumber out there. Shout out to Edson Plumbing, man. I know you guys are watching. You guys are subscribed and stuff. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, this guy clearly didn't care about giving away our location.
Whoops. No, I mean it's there's a lot of plumbing places called Edson Plumbing.
Whatever you say, dude. I'm in Australia. But yeah,
with our Australian accent.
No, but yeah, dude. Shout out to those plumbers, man. Those guys out, they did their thing, man. They did their thing.
Yeah, dude, they're the backbone of America, man. If you think about it, electricians,
the contractors, yeah. When they're not ripping people off, man, they're actually doing great jobs.
I don't know if they ever are not doing that. So,
I mean, whatever the case is, man. Somebody be like, "Hey, look, man, I'm certified in this. I'm certified in that. Therefore, I command a higher salary," type of deal. And you can, that's another thing too. Whenever you do work on the house, and I get it, everybody's circumstance is different. I could have gotten some random person to go ahead and install the water tank, but the problem is like, you want somebody that you could point to if something happens. Like, you can hold accountable. Like, hey, look, no, I got this person. This is a certified. Check the reviews, the Better Business Bureau, whatever the case is. They did this. Whatever happens after that, they got to pay for it or whatever. You can come after them.
Yeah,
if you could, if you could.
Or sometimes even if something goes wrong, I mean, I've had water tank heaters that have gotten messed up and they replace them. And the water tank heater that they bought, like let's just say from Home Depot or something, is messed up as well. They come back and they fix the issue. And that just shows some people won't come back. They'll charge you again and stuff. So
yeah. They give you a warranty. And, I have a respect for people who when they fix something, whether that's your car, whether that's your house, whatever the case is, they'll be like, look, here's what I did. Here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. I did this because of this. This thing does this.
Yeah, they give you a breakdown, right?
They give you a breakdown of everything they did. And so maybe that's a way of them like...
justifying how much you're gonna charge.
Not justifying, but like putting you at ease, like to lower your guard.
Yeah, to let you know that they're knowledgeable.
Yeah, but then they're ripping you off another way.
Yeah.
A few months ago, my heater, like I have a central heating and air system, like so the furnace wasn't working, right? So I called some furnace company, some HVAC company. I'm like, can you guys fix this? And the guy was like, he showed up and he's like, let's see,
was it ignited or?
So what he's saying was like, we gotta check if the furnace is broken, if the fire's not working, whatever the case is. Bro, this dude was like, it was pretty cool. He was like, he opened it, he checked, he's like, oh, I see what the problem is. This one tiny little sensor was dirty, therefore it wasn't sensing the temperature. Or it wasn't receiving the signal or something.
Yeah, he turned on.
He cleaned it with a knife. He pulled out a knife. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4. He put it back in. He closed everything. He's like, watch this. He turned the button on. He's like, all right, you hear that? That's the thing sending the signal to this. In a few seconds, the signal is gonna send this to the furnace. The furnace is gonna light the fire. Just like that, bro. Lit the fire. It's like now the sensor is sensing the temperature and it's lighting the fire.
And that's gonna be $10,000.
Nah, $250, bro.
Yeah. And how long did it take him to do that? Like,
it took him like an hour, bro.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, he showed up, bro, and did his thing, bro. Again, he did his thing.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to those guys.
And that comes with experience too, man.
He's a Muslim guy too, so went ahead, did his thing. You know what's crazy? I gave him like he's like, oh, it's $250. I gave him $270. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is a good story. I gave him like $270 or $280 or whatever. I gave him more than what the price was. I'm like, oh look, take the rest for you, and then give your company that you work for, give them what you charged or whatever the case is, right? Like, the company called me and they were like, by the way, you overpaid. It was $250. You gave us $280 or $290 or whatever. I'm like, oh wait.
So you reported that? Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, well, no, that was like a tip for you guys. But I didn't want to throw the guy under the bus. I'm like, that was a tip for the guy. I told him just to take $250 and then you know what I mean? And he reported it, bro.
Damn, bro.
Like, that was
to put the fear in God him. Like, yo, if you get any tips, you gotta report that stuff.
I wasn't gonna rat him out. It was only between me and him.
No, I know him. Like the company had him. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
some sort of policy or something.
I don't. Nobody's gonna rat him out, but
they were hearing him, bro.
I don't know, bro. So good for him. He actually went ahead and I guess he was like, "Oh, look, this is what he gave me entirely," and he didn't. So good for him. I guess I would have kept it. I would have been like, "Okay, no problem." But I guess different. Because at the end of the day, like I told him, like, "Yo, this is for the company. This is for you."
Yeah.
Maybe I should have been more like specific.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, dude. So that was that.
Yeah. So you mentioned the whole loan forgiveness, man. Student loan forgiveness that was denied by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, man. So apparently Joe Biden. What was it that Joe Biden was trying to do?
He did he did like an executive order to kind of like write off the loans for student loans.
$1.5 trillion.
That's crazy, bro. This guy was gonna try to slide that in, bro.
So to Biden's credit, right? I don't like Joe Biden. I don't care. I'll say it. I don't like him as a president. I think he's not because I don't like him. I liked him as a vice president back in 2008 when I heard him talk. And I'm like, damn, yo, this guy. Like, I'm like, damn, yo, this guy knows how to talk. Blah blah.
Yeah, really, I never liked the guy, man.
Dude, if you watch his debates with Sarah Palin and then with Paul Ryan in 2012.
Oh, so he
was a bro. Dude, he was a. I used to watch him talk. I'm like, wow, yo, this guy's a politician.
No way.
Yeah, so, but now I'm like, yeah, no, man, this guy shouldn't even be running for president, dude.
But it's like 30 years later, right? Not 30, like 20 years later. So.
Yeah, 20 years later.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is like for those of you listening and thinking like Joe Biden didn't want to clear your student loans, he did want. On paper, he did want to. He tried to make an executive order to write off a student loan. The Supreme Court of the United States shot it down. I guess they were trying to say it was unconstitutional for you to write that amount off. That type of money has to go. That type of decision has to go through Congress, through the Senate, and then finally to the desk of Joe Biden. So it wasn't like that Joe Biden didn't want to. But if I put on my tinfoil hat for a second, I can say Joe Biden knew that was gonna happen, and he did it anyways. So people can be like, "Oh, he's really trying," but he knew that the Supreme Court of the United States was gonna shoot it down.
Yeah.
So, the thing about the student loans. Look, something has to be done about student loans. There's no way that people should be having $100,000, $50,000, $80,000 worth of student loan debt coming out of college, right? But to forgive these loans just like that, carte blanche, basically just writing it off. That's it. Not knowing or not even caring to find out why did it get this high in the first place, how much these universities are charging, what the major is, what these students are paying for, all that stuff. To do that would be irresponsible of our leadership. What I would do if I was like in leadership and I was tasked to figure out how to resolve the student loan situation, number one, if you had $40,000 student loan debt for the past 15 years, right? We find out how much you paid into that, right? And some people have been paying for 15 years, right? And they paid off like $70K, but they still owe like $25,000 on a $40,000 loan.
Yeah.
That should be forgiven.
So there should be some sort of like threshold that certain people meet.
But you paid off, technically on paper, you paid off the loan and a little bit more. What do you think? Before I go on to my next plan, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good plan. It's sometimes like you mentioned, like it's the interest, right? Sometimes it's like they end up paying the interest off and a little bit on the principal.
But for 15 years or 20 years, and you still owe on like $40,000, and you still owe a high amount.
I think they have some sort of, I wouldn't think of it to be like a student loan forgiveness plan, but they do have programs out there that if you are paying into a loan, if it's like 15 or 20 years, but it depends on the career. Like if you were a doctor, it's some sort of not civil service, but some sort of job that provides
a service.
Yeah. So like a doctor, teacher, yeah. Like there is student loan forgiveness programs for that. And I think that they should also like encourage to like pay off other stuff like engineers, like things that are providing value to society and stuff.
Right, but that was gonna be my next thing. So if you paid off like 10, 15 years worth of the loan, and you still owe money on it, but you
Yeah.
paid off the entire thing to the government who loaned you the thing in the first place, well, the government is not in the business of making money. You got your money back. Forgive the loans of the people who've already paid it off, sometimes 2 times over, and somehow still owe money.
Yeah.
That has to go. I think we could all agree. I think everybody could agree, on both sides of the aisle, that should be forgiven because they've been paid back to the taxpayer.
I think it'll be crazy if they do some sort of study and it comes out that the majority of the student loan, the majority of the people that owe money to the government in regards to like college loans aren't paying into the system.
Well, then that's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. We don't know why it's gone to an exorbitant amount of money. It might be just that.
But that's the process, right? The second thing I would do, bro, and you might not agree with me, but I said that the United States government is not in the business of making money, right? I don't think they should be charging interest rates on these student loans. What are your thoughts?
Not raised interest rates?
0 interest rates on student loans.
Damn, that's kind of a gray area. And the reason I say that is because, damn, man, people might abuse that. They might just go to school knowing that they're not going to complete their education, right? Mm-hmm. And knowing that they still own they still have to owe. They still owe the principal and stuff. But it's just the fact that they're not gonna have an interest. I don't know, man. It's a gray area.
I think when somebody
I'm in the middle with that. I need to put more thought into it.
But we're both against just straight up student loan forgiveness. However, the fact that you're in the middle, that you're willing to listen to that just lets me know that, hey, look, okay, we're on the right track. Somebody goes to school, they can't pay for it. The United States gives them a loan. It should be a 0 interest loan.
It's kind of weird because, like, you know, the money basically gets created by the Federal Reserve. But sometimes the way you kind of slow things down is the fact that you give out a loan and then the other people that have been paying into the interest of other loans gives you a cushion and gives you a certain amount of money to give out loans to other people. You get me? Yeah. So if you get rid of that interest that you're paying, then basically it would.
1 second.
Yeah. So if you get rid of the interest, I feel like people like the Federal Reserve would start like increasing the printing of money, because they wouldn't have any extra amount of money coming in, if that makes sense. You get me? The principal's getting paid off, which is cool, but you also need interest to get paid into, so that way you have extra money to loan more people. Okay. To loan more people.
But I just don't think that the student loan thing should be a for-profit thing. Like,
yeah, but sometimes the for-profit is to continue loaning to other people.
Well, the thing is, like,
or they're gonna have to just keep printing money then.
The thing is they loan the money out. They get their money back, but also now you have an educated population, and some people can say that that's the interest that you're getting paid is an educated population.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so that's now my third thing is this now. So number one, the first thing we said was,
dude, it sounds like you should run for some sort of position in Australia, bro.
Thanks. number one is, if you paid into your student loan, like, already you paid it off, but you still owe money, but the interest rate is just ridiculous. Yeah. You're forgiven because technically paid off your loan. Number two, no interest rates, because the interest that you're gonna the interest rate that society's gonna get paid back, that the taxpayers gonna get paid back in, is an educated population. The third thing now is, right, if you majored in something useless.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. Who determines what is useless?
We can say doctors aren't useless. We can have a baseline. Doctors.
Yeah, but who determines that? Is it Congress? Is it a study that's created? Like, is it a board of professionals that come up? Or is it the people?
It should be the elected officials representing the people.
Okay.
STEM. Anything in STEM should automatically.
That might go left, dude. I mean, damn, that actually it might go left.
STEM, STEM engineering, doctors. Yeah. There's certain things that obviously, trade schools, there's certain things that we obviously know are useful. There are other things that obviously we know are not. But do the
representatives know this? Do they agree with this? It's all about their view, right?
But let's say they do, right? College studies, useless. Latin American studies, African American studies.
Some representatives
Native American studies.
Yeah. But some representatives might think it's useless, but again, if it becomes political, it's going to become, how can I get more votes?
The thing is this, right? College. Let's say, for example, I heard there's a degree called college studies, right?
Yeah.
College studies, let's say.
Do a lot of people major in that, you think?
Bro, feminist studies.
Okay,
things that don't produce value.
Okay, if I know that the majority, not a majority, but a huge portion of voters are wanting to study that, maybe it's an easier
fair enough
thing.
But here's what I say.
I want the votes.
But here's the thing.
I'm gonna cater to
them. But here's the thing. Here's what I.
Well, not me personally. I wouldn't, you know.
But here's what I would say. I'm like, fine, you can major in that. The taxpayers not gonna pay for that. If we're charging you a loan with no interest, we got to get something back, not just the money back. We got to get something back that serves the community, right? Like a STEM major. However,
well, I think it serves the community. Why can't you just approve it?
Fine. The taxpayer has decided that it doesn't. The BLS.
Oh, example, really? Well, you're not going to get my vote.
BLS. All right. No. Fairness. BLS.gov. Right. If you look up the jobs, like it should be based off of BLS.gov's who's hiring, who's getting paid, what job openings there are, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And let's say, for example, college studies. There's really no jobs for that pay anything, right? So what I would do is this: any colleges who offer that, right, who offer that major, knowing that the people can't get no jobs off of that, you're on the hook for what that kid has to pay. And if you don't pay it up, if you don't pay us back for that,
yeah,
we're gonna pull public funding, and we're only gonna fund STEM majors.
I think that's gonna upset a lot of people, and then that's gonna like basically not make them vote for you.
I don't know, bro. Oh, I left. I don't know, bro. The thing is this, man. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. The other one, up. Yeah, right there. Is that it? That's fine. Whatever. All right, sorry guys, we're having technical difficulties. It's fine. Whatever. So, sorry guys, we're having technical difficulties. So basically, dude.
It's Matrix, guys. They're coming after.
You can major in whatever you want, but you're just not gonna get you're not gonna get student you're not gonna get funding.
Yeah.
Bro, come on, it's obvious, bro. STEM, the trades, plumbing, electricity, HVAC, teachers, doctors, lawyers, all that stuff. That's useful. That provides an immediate use to society.
But like I mentioned before,
social pontification about the rights of people, that's also useful, but it doesn't provide an immediate return.
Understood, but again, it all depends on who's voting, who you're trying to support. You know what I mean? It always goes back to that. I think that's the reason why we're in the current state that we are in America. We cater to those that really don't have any idea of how to provide value to America, and then this is where we're at. So
yeah, man. At the end of the day, is this, bro? No interest rates for college loans. Okay, if you paid into it already, you should have it forgiven. I would try to find a way to make it affordable now for people who major in STEM, so you don't have to pay 50 grand, 60 grand, or whatever the case is. It'd be like, all right, a mechanical engineering school, let's say, you know what? I'm only gonna make a engineering school for mechanical engineering. I'm gonna make an engineering school for aerospace engineering. What does that mean? That means that you're only gonna go there for math. You're gonna go there for science. You're gonna go there for technology only. Very basic English. We want to make sure you write. You want to make sure you know where to put the comma in. But it should be 2 years at max. It should be 2 years at max, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's like, bro, everybody knows that you take the basic courses for the first 2 years. Why do you need an elective? Why? Why do I need an elective? You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that goes back to whoever's in control right now with the whole curriculum of school.
Yeah, they're trying to make it seem that college. Oh,
you think it's the older generation, or
yeah. Because back in the day, like you could do all that stuff and you wouldn't be crippled with debt. That's why. So people still want to keep that tradition, but I'm sorry, but we just the money's just ridiculous. The way things work now is ridiculous. You shouldn't keep that prediction, and it demands reform. No more college experience. I'm sorry, guys. No more parties. No more dorming for the first 4 years and having a good time. There's a college of engineering. There's a college of computer technology. There's a college of this, and it's only 2 years. And yes, you do get a government accredited degree. Only this time it doesn't take you 4 years to get it. It takes you 2. You gotta take basic psychology for what? I'm an aerospace engineer. Why? Why do I need that? Math, science, technology, programming. That's it.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if we do that, it's going to eliminate certain jobs. Like teachers are actually teaching those subjects.
So now we got to put into the balance, right? Like, what's more important? Removing this much debt from the populace, or making sure a few people have jobs?
I don't know. Is it a few?
Some of these
people?
administrators get paid $300K, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
It's a huge business, man.
Elizabeth Warren allegedly was making like $400K when she was like an administrator in college.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean?
No one speaks about that, huh?
But that's the thing, bro. That's like 5 student loans right there.
Yeah.
$50K.
That's freaking crazy.
So, you know, that's how I would handle that. I would handle that way. So, what's the word, man? What's the word with RFK Jr.?
Bro, RFK Jr. is. I think I might vote for him, man. Now,
I mean, a lot of people like him.
The more I look into him, bro, it's like he's against the whole like. I mean, I hate to use this the Matrix, right? Like he's against the whole like deep state.
Andrew Tate alert.
Oh shit, my boy! Yo, free my boy Andrew Tate. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we still don't know where he stands, right? You know, until
well, he's a Democrat, so we know where he stands in most issues. Like,
oh no, I was talking about Andrew Tate.
He's definitely not a Democrat.
Yeah, definitely not. But Robert. It seems like again. I know I mentioned this in the last episode. It seems like that last name, that Kennedy, the Kennedy family seems to always. Yeah, but it seems like they're always against the agenda.
Well, JFK was against the agenda.
Yeah.
RFK might have known something. I'm not too sure about RFK, but whenever you hear about the Kennedys, you only hear about John F. Kennedy. You don't really hear much about like Robert Kennedy and how he was also. He died in a plane crash.
Wow.
I think that was the
Is there
allegedly.
Didn't a lot of the Kennedys die or something like that? Or?
I only know about those two.
Okay,
but the people related, like Marilyn Monroe, she overdosed.
Yeah, wasn't she having some sort of
allegedly? So
yeah,
the thing about RFK Jr. like he's a pretty forward Democrat. What he's doing though is that he was against the COVID vaccines.
Okay.
And not just because he thinks that they were giving you, well, not just, and it's not because he thinks that they were giving you 5G, that they were injecting you with 5G receptors or whatever the conspiracy theory is. It's just he believed that they weren't thoroughly tested, that there was something in it for the big pharma to push this vaccine when there was other supposedly alternative, according to his book, The Real Dr. Fauci, supposedly there were also other alternative medications that could have been repurposed for this.
Wow.
And so he was against that. So that's his shtick.
I mean, prior to the whole COVID thing, prior to him running for the presidency, did you ever like hear about him or know about him?
I knew about him, but I didn't know about him like to this extent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just started following him like 2 weeks ago when you mentioned him to me. And stuff.
Yeah.
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, caught my attention.
He's coming into prominence, and you know, he's a Democrat who doesn't seem like he's like a. He's a political person who doesn't seem like he's like a nut job in terms of like he's one extreme to the other. I think like the whole, he's what I guess he's like a old quote unquote old school politician where it's like, okay, he's not too crazy to one side, but he's not too crazy to against the other side. He's a Democrat, but he's also seems like he's willing to work in the middle.
What's his background?
Was he a Democrat?
You know, like his background.
I think he's a lawyer. I think he used to be a lawyer.
Oh, lawyer. Okay.
Yeah,
Has he had any other, like political positions?
These guys, no, I don't think so. And these guys, I don't even think they actually worked for that long as a lawyer or whatever. Maybe he did. I don't know. But interesting story about JFK and Eisenhower. Yeah, UFO talk. I don't know if you know this, but there was a documentary. I think it was a documentary. There's a YouTube video on YouTube by Richard Dolan. He talks about how there's a gentleman that he's interviewing. He used to be an ex-CIA member back in like the 50s. Gotta be in the 50s because that's when Eisenhower was president.
Oh wow!
So apparently Eisenhower, and I don't know if I talked about this in the previous podcast, but Eisenhower had sent a letter to Area 51. This was after the Roswell crash, right? And for those of you who don't know, Roswell happened in like 1947. During that time, Truman was president. All right, so just so
that was like during World War II, right?
That was after World War II.
Okay, yeah, 1945, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So right after it.
Right, yeah, 2 years after it. Truman was president at that time. And then Eisenhower became president. And then I guess Eisenhower was asking, what's going on in Area 51? Like, what's up with that?
Wait, sorry to cut you off. Like, prior to 1947, was Area 51 a thing? Like, how long has it been established?
So I don't know about that. What I can tell you is that prior to Roswell, there have been many incidents where like crash landing of possible otherworldly things have happened. One happened in Germany in like the 30s. Another happened in Italy in the 30s, bro.
That's insane.
Believe it or not. Supposedly the Vatican had like a hold of it or something.
No way.
I don't know the full details. Fact check me. This is all alleged stuff. But going back to the whole CIA guy, he actually went. He was working for the CIA, and apparently, according to him, and they don't say the gentleman's name in the interview. I might have missed it, but he said that Eisenhower sent a letter to Area 51 saying, "What you guys got over there?" Paraphrasing, obviously, he's like, "What you guys got over there?" And they sent him a letter back saying, "Yo, you don't have a need to know." Basically.
Wow. They basically told the president, "Mind your own business."
Correct.
Ooh.
Allegedly. What they didn't know is that this just wasn't some Harvard graduate guy who became president. This is a supreme Allied commander of the European forces in World War II.
Yeah.
So you don't tell him that. You know what I mean? You just don't tell him that. He sent them a letter back saying, "You have 1 week." And this is all alleged to this gentleman that. And I'll see if I put the link on the description. Actually, this is all alleged to this gentleman. He said Eisenhower allegedly responded back in a letter that said, "You have 1 week to report back to me what you got, or I'm gonna take the army that's based in Colorado or something like that, and I'm gonna invade Area 51."
So who was in charge of Area 51?
That's the thing. Who? Nobody know. We don't know.
So that's the reason why he wanted to know, right? Like, what are you guys doing over there?
There's some projects going on.
Which makes you want to think, like, how long has Area 51, which is known, how long has it been operating?
At that time, who knows? Probably like 20 years.
Holy, wow, that's crazy.
I'm hearing rumors that it might have been operating under Franklin Roosevelt.
He probably didn't know about it, or
he probably started something like, "Hey, look, go take care of this and report back what's going on." And they probably started like not telling him the truth. Who knows? I don't know when people started like lying to the presidents.
I mean, that's what happens when you just expand at a point where you just can't keep control of everything, man. You have no visibility,
bro. It gets nuttier.
It gets deep.
Yeah,
deep
bro,
state.
It gets nuttier. So Eisenhower sends him a letter back saying, "Yo, you have 1 week to report back to me, or I'm gonna send the army over there. I'm gonna invade Area 51. What's up?" Paraphrasing that part.
Which is crazy because you're thinking to yourself, it's like you would think the Area 51 is part of the military, and you're like, I'm gonna send the military to take down the military.
That's what the breakaway civilization, I guess, was discovered. With the fact that you could
was discovered.
The fact that you could report back to the president of the United States and tell him like, "Oh, you don't have a need to know." Who are you? And who has a need to know? You're operating in the United States, and the head of the United States doesn't know. So
that's crazy.
They were like, they basically sent a letter saying, "Oh, my bad, bro. Yeah. Come through, yo. Come through."
I would like to know who was the person that was in communication with Eisenhower, man.
We'll put the link in. People will find out then. And
probably some like representative. Probably wasn't even the person behind. It was probably like their own president, right?
Yes, but then you get into crazy. Then you get into the Majestic 12 and stuff. But
when are we gonna cover that, man?
We'll cover that. Don't worry. So then I guess Eisenhower sent this CIA gentleman that is in the interview and somebody else. Yeah. And they apparently showed them like the craft. They showed them like alien bodies and stuff like that.
So he got invited to Area 51.
Yeah, and they showed them all this allegedly. And again, if I misspeak, I apologize. The link will be in the description, and you guys can click on the link, and you guys will see it for yourself, and you guys will I'm trying to recall everything back from memory. So he saw everything, and then he came back to the White House, and he reported back to Eisenhower, and he was like, "Look, they have this."
Oh wait, someone went for Eisenhower? He didn't personally go there?
Yeah, it's the president. It's basically like, all right, cool, we're gonna report. You go over there. Tell me what you guys see.
It's kind of like fishy because I mean something so big like that, you would think the president himself would go and actually check it out himself.
For all we know, the president didn't know the extent of this and I'll tell you why. And this is the cool part. He didn't know the extent of this because when he did know the extent of it, apparently he actually ended up going himself afterwards, having a meeting with extraterrestrials and making the Greada Treaty. That's a different thing. So initially,
Majestic 12, Grata Treaty, what's going on, man?
Yo, so initially,
guys, stay tuned if you want to know more about this stuff, bro. I'm learning too, man.
Bro, so
Jay knows about this stuff.
So he sent his people over there. They came back. They're like, yeah, they got saucers. They got aircraft. These aircrafts that are saucers.
Yeah.
They got alien bodies. There's actually one alien still alive, apparently.
Did they have like blueprints of those saucers that they found in Germany or something like that?
Yeah. They called them the Wunderwaffe.
And did the president at that time know about this, you think?
Truman? Yeah.
So there was like a miscommunication between Truman.
Something was going on where somebody discovered it. Yeah. And somebody was supposed to be the bridge of communication, and they just cut that bridge off. Don't know why.
Yeah.
It could be linked to the fact that this was all due to Operation Paperclip, and there were former enemy combatants and scientists that actually came to America, and they maintained that secrecy away from the United States government. That's not too far-fetched, if you ask me. But so
too many moving parts, man. It's like,
dude, so the gentleman came back and reported to Eisenhower.
Yeah.
There's saucers, they got materials, they got dead alien bodies, they got a live alien who's over there out here talking. And so Eisenhower.
So I'm guessing like that alive alien. Seems like there was some sort of relationship between the humans in that Area 51 and the alien, right?
Supposedly.
It wasn't like they had him as a prisoner, right? He was just.
For lack of a better term, they did. They couldn't just send them back home.
Okay.
Because if they would have, and then you hold that thought there. So when Eisenhower found out, according to the gentleman giving this expose, I guess, he said that Eisenhower had a look of concern on his face. My theory is that Eisenhower was like, how does the president of the United States not know this?
Yeah.
How we have all this and we don't know this? And it doesn't stop there. Apparently, the gentleman who reported back to Eisenhower, like the CIA gentleman, according to him, an RIP to this gentleman, you know what I mean? He passed away, I believe. He was into a supermarket. He was met by two guys like in a suit, in a black suit.
Men in black.
Men in black suits. And he said like, yo, and they, according to him, and I'm paraphrasing, and the reason I say that a lot is because I don't want to misspeak in a way that misrepresents what they were saying.
Yeah. There has been a lot of reports, too, of Men in Black, right?
The Men in Black were like, yo, paraphrasing them, too.
Yeah.
What you saw over there, you ain't seen nothing. You don't know nothing. And if you act like you know something, this person, they mentioned the guy's wife,
oh, wow,
might not have, might not be too happy about it. And that was it. Yeah.
That is insane. And
so going back to like, wait, Eisenhower just sent his boys over there? I don't think Eisenhower knew the extent of what was going on over there. And when he did, he actually went over there. So for those of you guys still listening, there was a time where Eisenhower was actually on vacation, and then apparently he left the vacation because he needed a dental appointment. That's the official story. He had a dentist appointment.
But right in the middle of a vacation?
Supposedly. But the real story was that he actually went to some kind of Air Force base where he met extraterrestrials, and it's called the Grata Treaty, and he actually made a deal with them that said you can abduct people for your take samples and stuff, but you got to put them back and you can't hurt them.
Wow. So
I don't know if that was the breakaway.
And in return, what did we get?
Technology.
It makes me wonder, right? Okay, cool. They give us technology, but at the same time, it makes me think, like, okay, couldn't we have just forced them to give us the technology without giving them anything in return?
So according to Dr. Greer, there was a man by the name of Philip J. Corso, Colonel, I think, Philip J. Corso, who was in charge partially of like the UFO retrieval program, and who apparently, not him specifically, but when they found out he was kind of leading it, they found out that the radar systems that the United States was using, or whatever systems, was able to bring down UFO crafts. So when they saw them in the skies and they turned this thing on, they were able to bring them down.
Yeah. And
the UFOs were like, yo, can you stop doing this? Can you stop knocking our stuff down?
Which makes me believe, like, okay, if we were able to knock down a few, like, UFOs here and there, like, it's like we aren't that far away from where they're at in technology-wise, right? Would you say at least?
I don't think so. And if we are, let's say, the way they made the technology, they didn't expect that what we had would affect them. It's like you make something and then you put it in an unknown system, and then it affects it in ways that you've never even thought to test for.
And it's hard to believe that because, like, there's certain, bro, the way our I mean, I don't know much about the military and the way things are built, but I've seen like videos and I read a couple articles. Like some of the tanks we have and some of the airplanes we have, like things from 100 years ago, it wouldn't even penetrate the things we have now, right?
Exactly.
So if our old military, like the things that we have that were back in the 1950s or 1940s, were able to take down something that's supposedly futuristic and so enhanced, and something that we gave up humans just to have some of that technology, but we're still able to take down some of their things. It's like, bro, like you guys aren't even that like far ahead of us.
It's not the fact that we could take them down or not. It's the fact that they have stuff like, for example, the saucers that they're flying.
Yeah.
They don't need any gasoline. They're not propelled.
They're
They're
like
not
self-sufficient and stuff. Or?
They're anti-gravity. We want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want that. How do you do that? The metal that according to Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, who apparently has this information, is a piece of metal. You could throw it up in the air. It's super resilient, but it floats down like a piece of paper.
Wow.
We want that. Yeah, we could bring it down, but we want what they have. Not only do we need to know how you guys made that.
But we would think that we wouldn't even be able to bring them down.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I think the way they set up the technology, they weren't compensating for what. Like, it's like you built something, right? And you're like, okay, it's going to work amazing. But then there was something that you didn't account for. You know what I mean?
That's a big thing to not account for. You know what I mean?
Like I said, man, they might come from
maybe they're not that smart.
No, or maybe the threats that they were facing when they built these ships, the threats that they were facing were other threats.
But again, you wouldn't be that smart, because if you're going to a certain place, you would study them and figure out, you know.
Possibly. I can't speak to that. What I can also say, like, you make up a good point. It's like, bro, they bring down the first one, they bring down the second one. Like, how many more they're gonna keep bringing down? The freak, how do these things keep crashing?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, it comes to my mind, like, okay, we're able to take you guys down. Okay, we're trying to negotiate here. Mm-hmm. But at some point, it's like, okay, we have something that you want, and you have something that we want. You're on our planet. We're able to take you down and hurt you in some way or manner. Why not just get you prisoner, force you, whatever, find your location and stuff like that?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know.
I think that
find your location. They did find the location once, actually, and there was a shootout.
So,
can we say that on YouTube?
Yeah, of course. So wait. I want you to finish the whole treaty.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll get to the shootout, man. Yo, guys, I'm learning as well, man. Like, this stuff is insane.
So basically they had the Grata Treaty. Yeah. Grata Treaty. I don't know how to pronounce that. You give humans, they give saucers. Some of these saucers, they just left them there for them to pick it up, and they picked it up and they reverse engineered it.
Boom, right there. So they reversed engineered it.
Right.
So at that point, would you keep giving them humans? You know what I mean?
That's a beautiful thing that you just brought up there, because that's a beautiful segue. Because after a while, they started kidnapping humans.
Yeah.
And they didn't report it anymore to the U.S. government.
So it was being
they just kept going.
Unknowingly, okay.
They just kept going and going and going. They just kept going.
It sounds like the current... We'll get into this probably the next episode, but it seems like today's politics... It seems like today's current system where we keep giving rights and we keep... You know what I mean? The more you give to someone, the more they abuse.
And apparently aliens aren't immune to that.
Yeah, right? The more you give someone like leeway, they take advantage, bro.
So the stories here vary, but apparently... the humans had been fed up with this nonsense. Yeah. And they found an alien base somewhere in...
So the humans, what humans were you talking about?
The army. The whatever was still working with them. They sent Delta.
Do you think so Eisenhower's aware?
No, this was after Eisenhower.
Okay, was he aware? Who was after Eisenhower?
John F. Kennedy.
Oh, shit. Damn, dude. It's insane how, like, wow, okay, it all makes sense now. So, but John F. Kennedy wasn't aware at that time, right?
Not at that time.
Damn, so again, the miscommunication.
Yes. So Eisenhower, who knows? Eisenhower might have told him something too.
Yeah.
But
were they from the same Democratic Party?
No, bro, they weren't. They weren't from the same party. Eisenhower was Republican, then John F. Kennedy was Democrat.
Okay.
But I don't know. If I was the president, I'm gonna start to see like that we're losing control of certain government agencies that are no longer responding to government, to Congress. I would have told JFK.
I would have told him regardless, bro. Like something that's like beyond national security of humans. You know,
this is a betrayal. This is a betrayal of not just the United States, but of humanity.
Extraterrestrial stuff, different species, man.
In New Mexico, according to William, I think his name was William Cooper. They found human like remains, like they found human beings that were kind of like drained of some of their stuff
Yeah.
and in positions where they've been clearly taken advantage of and mutilated
Yeah.
by these extraterrestrials, and this is in a base in New Mexico. And it got to the point where they're like, whoever was making a deal with these guys, are like, yo, you know what? You guys got to get out right now.
And how many years would you say has John F. Kennedy been in power?
This didn't happen during JFK. This happened, I think, after him.
After John?
Yeah.
What?
So the whole JFK thing is slightly different, but basically, they showed up to the thing to New Mexico secret air base. Yeah. And they were like, yo, you guys gotta get out of here. You guys can't keep doing this anymore. Like the people who were making a deal with them, it wasn't even the U.S. government at this point, but they still had an apparent tie to the U.S. military where they can still make orders, because eventually they sent the Green Berets and the Delta Force over there to be like, yo, you guys gotta get out of here right now. And the aliens' response could only be described as, the freak you gonna do about it?
Which makes me really, okay, cool. You mentioned 2 special forces that are part of the military.
They're probably more and stuff like that, yeah.
So they're probably aware of these extraterrestrials.
Probably, but
because they're not going to throw them into a mission not knowing what they're going to go like.
Who knows? You know, they probably was like, yo, you might deal with some. As they're on the helicopter towards the place, they're like, the briefing is basically you might have to deal with something that you've never seen before, type of deal.
So just don't ask questions.
Take the safety off. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
But I'm pretty sure they trained them, or they made them aware of certain weaknesses that they noticed that the species knew about. They're not gonna just throw them in there, because if they do, it's gonna be a waste of assets. Unfortunately, I don't like talking about humans that way. But
that's what it was.
They'll get wiped out,
bro. But that's what it was. Apparently, when they showed up, they were like, "Yo, we gotta get out of here." They didn't want to. There was like a back and forth.
But they must have known their weaknesses at least, right?
I don't know. But
something was told to them.
All I know is that a couple of soldiers did not make it out of there. And they had to like fall back, and eventually there was like,
wait, who fell back?
The U.S. soldiers.
What? Yeah. So the U.S. soldiers fell back?
But eventually they came to like a understanding or a conclusion, or like all right, look, there was a misunderstanding. My bad. You know how you have skirmishes and borders, in borders of countries.
But usually it's one person that starts negotiating because they're losing.
Yeah.
Like the losing party tries to like,
and it was like, yo, you need our people. We need your technology. If you don't give it, like, we still outnumber you, like, by 5 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys, so let's just keep giving us our technology. My bad. It's like 2 mob bosses when their small factions start fighting each other. How do use the bathroom?
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't pause it.
I'll edit that part.
Yeah.
Se cagó. I gotta use the bathroom too.
Oh.
I already marked it when I went to edit.
I bet.
Damn, the aliens, bro, they're coming for us, bro.
Junk is crazy. Ready?
I think what I really want to know is why the fuck?
And we're back.
So, all right. So we're saying there was a crossfire, right, with the Delta Force.
It wasn't no crossfire. It was straight up shootout.
Okay, but what I don't understand is the fact who lost, because there's war and there's a battle. Who lost that battle?
It could be considered either we lost at worst, or it was a stalemate at best. Because we were still
is there any documentation on this, or
this is what William Cooper said, who eventually ended up getting killed by the police.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So another guy gets
because he didn't pay taxes or something. It was some excuse like that. But yeah. So after that, or not after that, but going back to after Eisenhower, I think started realizing not that he lost control, but that the United States government lost control of some of these like top secret government agencies that they started, and that he was trying to warn people against that. JFK definitely realized that, wait a minute, yeah, they definitely did lose control of that.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to like rein it in. The first way to rein it in, well, who's responsible for all the secrecy? The CIA.
So you think that the CIA had no communication with any other agency, and no other agency was aware, or the only agency that we know that was aware is the CIA?
I think the CIA was co-opted and like absorbed into this entity that was now like a breakaway from the U.S. government.
Do you think they're still like that?
Of course, even worse now, bro. As far as I'm concerned, and so this entity needed leadership or whatever, like a group that runs them.
Yeah.
Who was this group? The Majestic 12.
Humans or
supposedly humans, but they were made up of scientists, engineers, and military generals and stuff like that.
You think they were like known generals, or?
I don't know, but if you guys want to find out, you guys are gonna have to come back next episode.
Damn, man, I'm gonna have to come back, guys.
Yeah. So, like I said, I love talking about this whole
man
stuff. It's crazy stuff.
And there's a lot of disclosed information, right? Disclosed documents, which it kind of gets me messed up, because there is a limitation to the amount of time like they could have a secrecy on these documents, right? And they disclose them. But at that point, they probably get rid of all the stuff they don't want the public
sometimes
to know.
They release it redacted.
Yeah,
some of the stuff is like, so it's kind of useless in a way, but. But a lot of people have been coming out. Like I said, I'm still suspicious of David Grush. These guys don't come out unless they're given permission to come out.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. And the media running with, could there be aliens? Could there be UFOs? Could there be extraterrestrials? But nobody's produced a single shred of evidence. Like, it's all cool that you guys are open to UFOs now after all these years. Do you think
that's what they're doing? That what they're doing is that they're releasing information slowly to see how the public reacts?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the point where, okay, we just literally told the public that there's aliens, and we literally showed like a picture, and it seems like the public's okay with it. We can move a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
Like feeding
the guy Josh Hawley, he's one of the senators or a congressman.
Yeah.
I forget. From the United States. He said that he read some of the reports, and it's definitely unsettling, not just for what they've done to like the secrecy that they have, but like the reality of the situation in terms of like how we look at reality and the reality for human beings. And he would say it was kind of scary. And I'm hearing Congress people, when they're reading the reports, they were like shaking and stuff.
Wow. Makes me think, like, do you think like the majority of the crazy stuff they just don't document? It dies with them?
No, man, they document it. They had to document it.
You know, they're like, yo, we can't document this. Just, you know,
they have to document it, bro. Because if it's that crazy, the next person has to know. And I think,
but that's the thing. What if they don't want the next person to know? You know, do you think there was like certain, you know what I mean, like people that were in leadership at certain times of our history that were like, yo, like we can't document this because like there's no point in documenting this. Like if this goes out,
well,
like, you know what I mean.
I see what you're saying, but if like it turns out that it's like, yo, we don't trust these beings, we only trust each other.
I would like to think that some of the people that are, that are part of that stuff are.
And I'll be like, I gotta document this for the next person that gets brought into the circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to think they do that with the presidents, but it seems like they don't.
Nope, they do not. Absolutely not. I think that the revelation is going to be that these aliens or these beings, they just come and they just take people any way they want to.
Now, you know what would be really, really freaking nuts? If we are the aliens as humans and the people that are actually like trying to study us or take resources from us were the original species that lived on Earth. And we just forgot that we were aliens, but we just multiplied and now we are... the majority of on Earth. Wouldn't that be crazy?
They came back to their home and they're like, we're running stuff.
Yeah.
That would be.
That would be insane, right?
Yeah, bro. But yo, it is nuts. I think that's the thing is like they've been kidnapping people. The other thing is that just is scary. I know we said this thing is over, but let me tell you this. How would it make the United States look? And you can make a short out of this too, but how would it make the United States look if they didn't know that right under their noses there were government agencies operating, right? Operating within them, that they had no idea, had all this technology, and that they were operating globally, right? Around the world with the name of the United States without the United States knowing.
That is insane.
And they had all this technology behind them. They were out here assassinating presidents and elected officials from countries of the world in the name of democracy on behalf of the United States, but they never reported to the United States. How would that make the U.S. leadership look?
Or you know how how crazy this could get? How about if we're not even aware that there is like a deep state or some sort of representation of the United States that's in control of unknown beings or humans that are not only doing business in America but worldwide, and they're galactic, and people know about America worldwide, but we just us personally we're like, nah, all we know is Earth, the moon, and the planets, but we're like literally traveling the stars.
I think some people say that
is nuts, dude.
But that's what we got for you guys this week. Next week we'll talk about the Majestic 12 and Project Blue Book and what that was about. Yeah, no, dude, it's such a spaghetti bowl of crazy stuff.
Can you mention? I mean, you mentioned what was it? Project Blue Book or something?
Yeah. Project Blue Book is basically the United States government's official, public-facing.
And what year did that happen?
50s, 60s, around there.
Damn. So
it was originally called Project Grudge.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think it might have been started on the Truman, but I'm not too sure where it was meant to investigate sightings of unknown aircraft. Yeah. And then from Project Grudge to Project Blue Book. And so basically they hired one guy called J. Allen Hynek. Yeah. And he was basically supposed to go investigate the sightings, and he was to report back like, oh, they said it was this, but it was actually a hot air balloon or an airplane, or the military said that they were testing a secret aircraft, and that's why it looked like that. And,
wow. So right now we're kind of like talking about so far the 1940s to the 1960s, right? Basically, we're at that point right now.
1930s.
1930s all the way to to
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So just stay tuned, man. Jay, right here, I'm pretty sure you have more topics throughout history, right? American history that we're going to cover in regards to aliens and conspiracy theories and just things that are affecting us right now, because right now there's like a whole big speculation, are aliens real?
It should be extremely suspicious that the United States government is spending $700, $800, $900 billion in the military.
Yep.
Almost $1 trillion in the military. That's more than GDPs of countries.
Yeah, and that's what's reported too. So
we need to itemize, like, where's this going? Who's getting paid?
They might want to keep that confidential, so I don't know. Well, I don't think they'll ever. Yeah, I don't think they'll even disclose that with Congress.
I think there is a breakaway civilization, and that we're paying for it through the military budget.
Yeah,
that's the official Jaycast narrative. But all right, guys, anything to say, Jay?
Nah, man, just stay tuned, man, and we'll be back next week. Peace.